Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 11 of Season 8 here in the TML F4 division. I am Ivory Mike, going to be taking you through the action here as we go to the Autodromo Humanos Rodriguez for the Mexican Grand Prix. A track where we could see a lot of overtake, a lot of action. Maybe even a few safety cars. They can throw some up, especially in that middle sector as you go through the S's of turn 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So we are going to see how these guys handle the pressure here in Mexico. Looking at the Drivers' Championship though, it is Ecos Blacks who leads the way on 218 points ahead of Yelly Gleason in second place on 189. Tied on points actually with Ghost 72 UK, who is also on 189 points, and we got Atlas Copo in fourth on 173. So a pretty interesting battle towards the top end, and we've got a little bit of a gap down then to fifth place man, Great Elmo on 134 points, with Sygate in sixth on 123, Maze in seventh on 109, and OWR Preby on 89 points in 8th place, and 81 points for Stevie G. Maximus N is rounding out the top 10 on 74 points, and outside the top 10 we do have Smitsky on 54 points, 50 points for Andy Campbell, Kiki on 48 points with Maximum Attack, the man who we are currently on board with, also on 48 points, Yanzu on 44 points in 15th. Then we got Axel in 16th on 41. Same with OWR Storm, also on 41 points. 34 points for Sampi King. And then we got LRE Dan on 31 points. And rounding out the final point paying position, it is I Am Silas on 30 points on the 20th. Going to be on board with Maximum Attack, who I believe is going to be the very first man to get underway. Go for the constructors as well. Mercedes leading the way on 298 points, with the Ferrari in second place on 262. So a nice little gap there, with McLaren in third on 248, Red Bull in fourth on 237. A very familiar top four in terms of constructors, but we're going to go on board. Oh, as Maximum Attack has lost it as he was about to start his lap. So we'll go on board with the next man, which is Sygate. So let's go ahead, let's go on board with the man in the Aston Martin. Aston Martin currently in fifth in the constructors on 197 points, as we've got DRS wide open on the rundown into turn 1 for this 4.3 kilometer circuit. Let's see how he attacks turn 1. Very slow through the apex, but he keeps the line nice and tidy through turn 1. Opened up turn 2 for him, so he definitely would have gained a little bit of time as we go down in towards turn 4. Second gear there as we got a nice little shift into turn 5, which opens up for this double right-hander. Turn 6, the double apex. You want the late apex on this on that corner as we go through the S's now. Through 7, you can see a little bit in the back end slap. You can see how dangerous the curves are already as we go through 8, 9, 10 and 11. DRS wide open now as we come to the middle sector split. I know Sygate has invalidated on his lap time, but we'll stay on board with him as we go through the stadium section, and we're just going to stay on board just to see what kind of time he can do as we come through the final corner. And it's going to be an invalid lap time, but the lap time is going to be a 17.3 for Sygate. Decent banker lap to put down on the table, but there is Ghost on a 16.9. There, a nice early benchmark there for the Brit. As we come to the line with Yanzu going up into second place, and Smitsky up into third. Maximum Attack, after his spin, has gone ahead and got himself back out on track, and he's going for it again, but he's lost the back end once again. maximum attack, on maximum attack as he loses the back end of the car. On board right now with the man who is 4th in the Drivers' Championship, and that is OWR Atlas Coppo. Raced with him many times, I know what he can do. Needs to really attack these curves though, but for right now, just getting a banker lap on the board is all you need to do, as Atlas Coppo now into the stadium section. Short shifting up into 4th gear there as we approach the final corner. And across the line will come Atlas Coppo. Is he going to get ahead of Jelle Gleeson? No, he's not. He's going to slot into 3rd place, but Jelle Gleeson currently the man out in provisional pole position. We're going to go on board with Ray Elmo, who has a little bit of traffic in the way, but gets out of the way of the Haas as we approach the line now. And it is a 17.7, so we're seeing a little bit of a gap already forming between these drivers. So we'll see the championship leader Ecos Black still in the pit, and his championship rivals, all 3 of them, are in the top 3 here in qualifying for right now. So I did say we'll take you through the constructor standings. I believe I got down to Aston Martin in 5th place on 197. But I'll give you a quick recap of the top 4 as well ahead of them. So we got Mercedes on 298 with Ferrari in 2nd place on 262. 248 for the Papaya Orange McLarens, and then 237 for the Red Bull Racing Team. Then of course we have the Aston Martins on 197 with Haas in 6th on 134, with AlphaTauri in 7th on 125. Williams in 8th on 98 points. Then we have the Alfa Romeos on 54 points down in 9th. And then the last team is of course the Alpines, who are on 41 points down in 10th place. So we'll have to wait and see how all these teams do get on, because the constructors are still pretty close. So the constructors battle definitely could get a little bit spicy as we go into the latter stages of this season. I believe this is the penultimate round as well, if I'm not mistaken. So Jelle Gleeson, Ghost and Atlas Coppo need a big result here to get within a good shout of beating Ecos Blacks for the Formula 4 Championship. And of course, one man here in qualifying that won't be happy is of course the man who has crashed out without setting a lap time, and that is Mays in the Mercedes, and that does not help the Constructors' Championship at all. He's going to the order with Ghost, and Ghost now needs to find half a second to get himself ahead of Jelle Gleeson. As Mays says he is happy, I don't think he is. It's a little bit of Red Bull teamwork there down in towards turn 4. Ghost will be saying thank you very much, Kiki, as he passes his teammate to continue onto his lap. A little bit of slipstream down in towards turn 4 definitely would have helped the Red Bull driver. But from what I'm seeing through these S's, just does not look comfortable attacking the curbs here in this middle section. You see he is a 10th down as we go into the stadium section for the final few corners in the final sector. And that's an invalidation. He just pinched out a little bit too far wide, and he's going to have to bail out coming to the pits. Meanwhile, Sygate up into the second there with a 16.8, a good improvement there from Sygate. As Yanzu is approaching the end of the lap. Yanzu to the line. Either he's just started the lap or the game has bugged, but on board with Stevie G, purple in the first sector. Let's see how much time he can gain in this middle sector, that's the question. A lot of tentative drivers in this middle sector. That is one thing I am noticing. These curbs, no one appears to be very comfortable on these curbs, and the thing is, if you want to extract the most time out of it as you possibly can, you really need to be comfortable attacking these curbs. But on board with Stevie now as he crosses the line. It's going to be a 17.4, good enough for 6th place as it currently stands. Ecos Blacks, who is the championship leader. Let's see what a lap from the McLaren driver looks like here. Big lock up into turn 1. We're just slowing down quite a bit, but very nice through turn 2 and through turn 3. The eyes wide open now as we run down to turn number 4. 29.5 in the first sector. He took way too much of the inside there for turn 4, and that is an invalidation for the championship leader. Miles gets himself on the board. Maximum attack coming to the line now. It's a lap time, but it's not a particularly big one. 24.5, definite room for improvement there. As Ecos Blacks, is he going to go for another lap? That's the question. The answer to that is yes, he is. Another lap for the McLaren driver. He's just going to need to get a benchmark down. Only 6.5 minutes left here in qualifying. And we shall see if he's able to get himself up the order. Of course, 36 laps of the Mexico Grand Prix await these drivers. As Maximum Attack and Miles both out of the session as they go ahead and lose their car coming out of the S's. We're going to stay on board with Blacks, who's just taking a bit too much inside curb, and he's invalidated as well. The championship leader is struggling to get a lap on the board here in Mexico, and if he's not careful he could be starting at the back with Maze, which won't be a particularly good one. Well, he's not going to be starting on the back row now because of Maximus, who has crashed out in the S's. So I'm going to try and go on board with the Ferrari of Atlas Coppo to see what's happened here, and yep, he has lost the back end, gone off to the left, and has crashed out of qualifying. Just under 5 minutes to go here in qualifying. It is Yeli Gleason out on top with a 16.4, 2 times clear of this man in second place. OWR Atlas Coppo with Ghost in third on 16.7, Sygate in fourth on a 16.8. Then we're into the 17s of Kiki in fifth with a 17.2. Stevie currently in the pits on 17.4. Great Elmo on track, 2 tenths up in the first sector on a 17.7. Yanzu on an outlap with a 17.8. Then we got Silas in ninth on a 18.2. Miles out the session also on the 18.2, so it opens the door up for Smitsky, Preb and Ecos Blacks to get a lap on the board. 18.4 for Preb, Smitsky on the 18.5. Maximum Attack out the session with a 24.5. Not a particularly great lap there for the man in the Williams. Ecos Blacks under pressure, the championship leader under pressure to get himself a good lap time, but he has managed to come out directly behind his teammate, so maybe for his lap he'll have a nice little tow from Ein Silas as he begins his lap as well. yeah, that is Janssen now coming to the line. So going to be, I believe he's on a outlap, just getting himself going. So we'll go back on board with Preb through the final corner. An 18.5. I think he was also just starting the lap. Inside that's it, struggling. Elmo, I think, is on a cooldown lap. Stevie just getting himself going, so we shall see. Let's see what Stevie can do. Currently in 7th place. Can he get himself onto that front row, I wonder? Almost 2 attempts up in the first sector, so right now he's currently on a charge to jump ahead of Kiki. Just needs to maintain it now through this middle sector and not overstep the limits, overstep the boundaries, overstep the track. Again, very tentative in the middle sector, and he clips too much of the curb and he has gone around, and that is session over there for Stevie G. On board with Ghost as he's coming through the final sector now. And he's not on a lap. Eli Gleason also not on a lap. So we'll go on board with Ghost, who Ghost is just getting himself underway. And we shall see if Ghost can put himself on to that front row. He only needs a 10th. Sector 1's in for Ghost. He's marginally up, 1,000th of a second. We'll go through the double right under turn 6, late apex here, early on the power. Now into the S's. Again, very tentative on the curves. Half a 10th up, he needs some time in this final sector. The final corner now for Ghost, and what's this going to be for the Red Bull driver? Backed off. As the rain is here at the end of the session, I think that might be it in terms of improvement. I can't see anyone gaining time right now. I mean, Switsky 3 attempts up in sector 1, so we'll see how much he loses in this middle sector. He's 4 attempts up. This could get him ahead of McLaren of Ironside, as he could potentially knock Ecos Blackstone into 11th as well. With the final corner. And it's an 18.1 there for Smitsky, so he doesn't get ahead of the McLaren drivers. As Preb will cross the line to end qualifying here in Mexico. So that wraps it up here for qualifying. We have Ecos Blacks, the championship leader, down in 10th place. Meanwhile, his championship rivals, all 3 of them, are 1st, 2nd and third here in qualifying. It is looking pretty spicy. Of course, we got Yeti Gleason on pole position, and we got Maze all the way at the back, but we're running for the order. It is Yeti Gleason who takes pole position with a 16.4, just under 2 tenths clear of Atlas Copo in second place. Ghost in third on a 16.7, 16.8 for Cygate in fourth. Then, of course, we have Kiki in fifth with a 17.2, 17.3 for Great Elmo in sixth. Then we got Stevie G in seventh, Yanzu in eighth on a 17.4, Preb in 9th on a 17.7, and running at the top 10 we have Ecos Blacks, the championship leader, on a 17.9. Then outside the top 10 we have I Am Silas, Smitsky, Die Miles, Maximum Attack, Maximus, and Maze, who was unable to get a lap on the board. Same with Maximus as well, for that matter. So those two drivers going to be going into this session pretty cold in terms of how the car feels on track. So we shall see how they get on as a strategy around here. You can get a 2-stop to work for you, but I find the 1-stop medium hard is generally the better strategies. But we'll see if anyone agrees with me or whether they'll go a little bit different. Time will, of course, tell. As we wait for everyone to fix up their race strategies, get their fuel loads in order, and we shall see. Of course, a safety car, well-timed one, can really shake things up here. But obviously the big news, Ecos Blacks down in 10th place. His championship rivals Yeti Gleason, Ghost, and Atlas Copo first, second, third in qualifying. Is that going to be anything that we will see throughout this race? I don't know, but here we go now to those 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway here in Mexico, and looks like a great start there for Ecos Blacks, and a poor one there for Kiki, dropping down the order massively. They're 3 wide going down in towards turn 1 there. As we got Cygate also with a great start, going to be looking to get himself into the lead, and he is into the lead. As it's 3 wide into turn 1, 3 into turn 2. That's not going to work, as Atlas and Yeti Gleason there battling with Elmo. Ghost has got a good start. He's up in the second place. Atlas having a little peek as you got Stevie trying to go around the outside of turn 4, and he gets it done. Let's get these tyres up on the screen so we can see the strategies that everyone is on. So Ecos Black's already getting ahead of Atlas Copo there. So Ecos started in 10th place, now up into 6th place, ahead of one of his championship rivals. The other 2 though are up ahead. Strategies looking like Ghost going for a set of the mediums, Cygate on a set of the mediums, Yeti Gleason on a set of the hards, Elmo on a set of mediums, Stevie, Ecos Blacks and Atlas Copo on a set of hards, and we got I'm Silas going a little bit different there with a set of softs. Set of hards there for Kiki, and then we've got Maximum Attack on the set of mediums. Double hards for the likes of Maze and Die Miles, but going back up towards the front, doesn't look like Ghost is going to go for it, as I'm Silas and Atlas Copo there trading positions, as I'm Silas goes down the inside of his teammate and spins. Oh, that was poor right there, and it might have just set things up here for Kiki around the outside of turn 3. And Kiki lets him back through, but that's going to allow Maximum Attack to go on the attack, and he's up into P8, but Kiki's going to hold it down the inside. Is he going to be left the room? He is left the room. Maximum Attack should have this all sorted out now, and that he does. Maximum Attack up into 8th place there. As you got Ecos Blacks now all over the back of Stevie, who's trying to keep up with Elmo here, who is on that set of medium compound tyres. The top 3 have kind of got away from everyone. Ghost now on the back of Cygate for the race lead. As Stevie using a bit to try and get away from Ecos Blacks. Ecos Blacks has absolutely nothing. As Maximum Attack and Atlas Copo here, side by side into turn 1. Maximum Attack gets the move done. And will Kiki have the run to get past Atlas Copo now? No, he does not. Back up towards the top 3. Sidegate, Ghost, Yelly Gleason. Up here right now having a nice, lovely old freeway scrap for the race lead. And Yelly Gleason doing incredibly well on those hard compound tyres as Di Miles picks up the inaugural 3-second time penalty, I believe, as Maximus also has a time penalty, but I'm not sure if that's a 3-second. It could potentially be a 3-second, but 3 laps in, that is not what you'd like to see. Now with DRS, surely Sidegate is going to drop behind Ghost here, but it currently stands. They're not really closing in on each other too much, as no one's supposed to have to make a move, as Stevie had a little peek down the inside of Elmo there. And they're building a little bit of a gap to Ecos Blacks, as that's Kiki going down the order as Di Miles gets through and up into P9. Atlas Copo does have DRS, so he can kind of hold on to that position. Maximum Attack 2 seconds back from Ecos Blacks, who somehow has managed to get himself right onto him. Right onto Stevie and Elmo up ahead. So these two have gone side by side somewhere and lost all the time they had on Ecos Blacks, as Yelly Gleason gets through and goes around the outside in the S's. What a move there from Yelly Gleason. Up into second place goes the Mercedes driver. Incredible stuff. We just caught the end of that, but an incredibly brave move from Yelly Gleason. And that is Smitsky, who is out of the session on the exit, and that has brought out a full course safety car here. As I don't know what that was from Sidegate there. I think he was about to go into the pits and realised it was only lap 5, so came back out. But because of that, he has dropped the spot to Yelly Gleason. Now Maze and Dai will be off those softs onto a set of the mediums there. So they're looking to get their 2-stop underway with a set of medium compound tyres. Mediums, you want to be looking to take them around 15 laps. And bolting on a set of the hards. I believe you have 2 sets of mediums here to use. So they could be thinking about maybe a lap 20, lap 21, maybe lap 22 pit stop for another set of mediums. And the safety car is going to stay out for another lap, so we'll have another lap of the safety car conditions. Yelly Gleason is in the lead right now, with Sidegate in second place, Ghost in third, Great Elmo in fourth, Stevie in fifth, Ecos Blacks in sixth place, Maximum Attack in 7th, Kiki in 8th, Yanzu in 9th, and Maximus in 10th with a time penalty to his name. Atlas Copo, the first of the guys who have made at least one pit stop here. He is in 11th place with Mays in 12th. Dave Miles with the penalty in 13th. And Silas in 14th. OWR Pred in 15th. And then, of course, we got Smitsky, who unfortunately crashed out of the session here. All we can do now is wait for the safety car to come in. Safety car in this lap, so we will be back racing. Yellow Gleason will lead us away. We'll go on board with Sygate to see if we can get the good restart versus Yellow Gleason. Yellow Gleason backs up the pack. Everyone bunching up. Need to make sure they keep their nose clean here, as Yellow Gleason has gone. Caught Sygate slightly napping, but Sygate hasn't lost tremendously there, so looking pretty decent, as Sygate has actually used quite a bit to get past Yellow Gleason there. So he's already down to less than 60%, whereas Yellow Gleason's on 95. These guys using a lot of VRS here. Yellow Gleason doesn't appear to be needing to use any, as that is Dave Miles there trimming the grass on the exit of turn 1. Is that wing damage there for the Haas? So a quick peek, I don't know, but we got Mays and Atlas Copo side by side. Mays is through, and that's going to allow I'm Silas to go through, but Atlas Copo is going to send it on the outside. He's going to hold it on the outside. Is he going to be able to get that position? They're going to be side by side into the next corner. Atlas Copo backs out of it. And who's that around? That is Maximum Attack, who is around there. Down into 14th goes the Williams driver. As Igor's Black's now up into P5. Going to be trying to get himself, as Dai has unfortunately retired from the session. And that appears to be a virtual safety car, not a full course safety car, just a VSC here on lap 8. So it does kind of neutralise things just slightly, as Dai has left the session. Not gonna lie, this was a big opportunity on the safety car restart for Mays and Silas and Atlas Copo to really get themselves in the mixture and make that two-stop strategy that they're going for pay off. But as it currently stands, they are a little bit back and gonna need to work almost in cohesion with each other to try and get themselves up the order. What a run from Igor's Blacks, and he's going to get the run on Stevie. Stevie will hold the inside. Igor's Blacks to the outside. He's going to outbreak the AlphaTauri. Side by side action as now he's down the inside. Goes Igor's Blacks. We're on board with Kiki right now, trying to get a nice angle as Igor's Blacks gets himself ahead of Stevie. But will Stevie be able to come back at him with ERS, because Igor's Blacks used a lot there to try and get past the AlphaTauri. And it looks like Stevie does have the straight line speed advantage, and that flashing red light will tell Stevie all he needs to know here. Is he going to use the get past? I don't think so. Sygate we're getting a little bit clear ahead of Yellow Gleason right now as Storm gonna need to hope for a bit of DRS to try and get past the Mercedes driver here. As Elmo there making a bit of a mistake, absolutely messing up the middle sector. Same with Stevie actually. So that's allowed a bit of a gap to form there for Blacks to Stevie, as I believe that's Silas who is around at the back. Heartbreak there as Atlas has dropped behind his teammate. Preb down into P12 goes the Ferrari and championship contender, but it's not looking good for him right now, as now we have, of course, Blacks versus Elmo, but he does not have the ERS to do anything. And Stevie, even though he doesn't have DRS, he has the superior straight line speed and he has more ERS to his name. So a good run out of turn 3, and that is not the way he would have wanted it to go. But meanwhile, up top, Nick Gleason has a little peek. Oh, he stuck his nose in it and he's got pinched to the apex. Nick Gleason there, he took a adventurous look, thought better of it, and then decided to put his nose back in it and just avoid the catastrophe right there. Now, however, you've got to assume on this next lap, as Maximus has gone around in the middle sector, the Gleason all over the back of Sygate here. This should be a relatively simple overtake for the Mercedes. But he is not using his ERS. He has 90%. Refusing to use his ERS here to his advantage. Meanwhile, Ecos Black still clinging on to Elmo, even though he has no ERS to his name, and Stevie there with a good opportunity as Maximus has come into the pits to retire from the session. So not a good showing here for Maximus, lap 11, and we lose a Aston Martin. Oh, actually, I was just about to go on board with Ecos Black's Blast. Stevie out the session, we just saw it as he got onto the curb, and that's brought out a full course safety car here on lap 11. Now, if I was Sygate, Ghost and Elmo, I am into the pits right now for a set of those hard compound tyres. Absolutely, because the hards will definitely go to the end from here. Who will peel off into the pits? Sygate does, Yeti Gleason does, Ghost does. Black stays out. So does Kiki. Maze stays out. Maximum Attack is out as well. As, oh my god. What? What has Maximus Attack done there? Lord only knows what he has done, as the stream keeps buffering on my end. I haven't had no disconnects from servers or anything as of yet, so I'm just going to quickly check on my phone to see what's going on. Maybe it's just a PC thing for me. Appears to be a PC thing, as we got Dinan in the chat saying this never happened. It has here tonight. Lap 12, we've had 2 safety cars and a virtual safety car. We've lost 5 drivers so far from this race. Maximum Attack, Stevie G, Maximus, Di Miles and Smitsky. Of course, Smitsky going out very early on lap 4 as Di and Maximus both losing it. We saw Stevie lose it in the S's and into the wall, which brought out this safety car. And Maximum Attack literally just piles it into the pit lane entry. So a very strange occurrence there for Maximum Attack, to be fair. Ecos Black Snow though is out in the race lead. I don't think he's got the pace of Yeti Gleason, Ghost and Cygate here, but they have a bit of traffic to make their way through, but they are on much fresher tyres now. So you would assume that they could get through and they would have enough tyre life to get to the end. Apart from Yeti Gleason on those mediums, he maybe thinking about another stop under another set of mediums at some point in this race. Safety car in this lap as we wait to get going once again. Now is Ecos Black's turn to go ahead and get us underway. He's going to back up the pack, so we'll go on board with Kiki for this restart. As now Ecos Blacks has gone out the final corner, really held up the pack there, but he bolts at the right time as Kiki there had to slow down to avoid going into the back of the McLaren driver, and he is going to drop down. Meanwhile, we got this nice little train behind Atlas Copo as here comes Cygate. Is he going to have a little peek down the inside? He's going for it. He's gone for it. Is he going to pull it off? No, wasn't close enough as I'm silencing it right behind. He'll be looking on as, it's cut the curb, and now the McLaren can pounce, and the McLaren is going to pounce, and he's going to get ahead of Cygate. They're going to be side by side on the run down into turn 4. A little bit of contact between the pair as, oh my god, that's Yeti Gleason on the inside. 3 wide there as we go into turn 4, and wow, Yeti Gleason there around the outside of turn 6 as he just came out of nowhere and made it 3 wide into turn 4, and both Fire Silas and Yeti Gleason get ahead of Cygate there, who is now back down behind, well, he's behind Elmo now. That's how much time he lost there. Yeti Gleason and Silas is side by side as they go through into the final sector through turn 12. And I'm Silas picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that is not going to help him whatsoever. As here comes Cygate on Elmo. He's going to get through and up into P8 once again for Cygate. About Ghost here gets a great run on the exit of turn 3, but he's not willing to use his ERS to get this position here. He's willing to sit behind, he's willing to wait. As we got inside, I say, just dropping back as Ecos Blacks picks up a 3-second time penalty. Now that is big. The championship leader there picking himself up a 3-second time penalty as So it could be a techie one when it comes to later in this race. Yellow Gleason now on the back of Atlas Coppo. So much more grip, so much more speed than the Ferrari right now. Absolutely pushing him for this final sector, and now Yellow Gleason is going to draw alongside. Is he going to use DRS to get through? I don't think he is, and neither is Atlas Coppo. It's a straight drag race, and there we go. There's Yellow Gleason using a little burst of it now just to draw ahead into turn 1, and up in the P5 goes Yellow Gleason. Meanwhile, I'm Silas dropping back massively from the guys ahead, and that is a thorn in the side for both Seagate, as is Elmo and Ghost side by side now into turn 4. Ghost gets the position and gets the move done. I was going to say this is an absolute pain now for Seagate, Ghost and Elmo, who are looking to try and get a great result here, but they are getting held up right now behind I Am Silas, who is losing out right now, and that is Kiki around through the S's. Kiki has gone a spinning. He has managed to save it out the wall though, so fair play and a good going there from Kiki, as we'll see Red Bull is still in a bit of a constructors scrap right now, so both drivers need to be finishing and need to be finishing well. Yellow Gleason on the back of Preb, but Preb hasn't been able to concede that position, but this scrap is now getting a little bit spicy towards the top end. As Psychic gets through on I'm Silas, so now Ghost needs to get through as well ASAP, and all he needs is a good run here out of turn 3, and he could get, and he's going to use a bit of DRS. He's going to use the DRS, and he's going to absolutely breeze past the McLaren driver. He's going to try and hang it around the outside, but can't get in good enough momentum to send it on the inside. So that is Ghost up into 7th. So now Ghost and Seagate have been released from the I Am Silas train, and now we can see if they have got the pace to kind of close back up to Yellow Gleason, who's all over the back of Preb for P3, and he is going to cruise past the Ferrari, and up into P3 goes Yellow Gleason. Of course, the thing to point out in this as well is that everyone in the top 5 will have to pit again. Seagate and Ghost can go to the end on these tyres, so if they can get themselves into this train, from Maze down to Atlas Coppo here, they can really throw a spanner in the works as Ghost gets through and past Seagate, breaking a little bit early for turn 1 there for Ghost. But he's going to get through and ahead and up into P6, and with an extra dose of DRS he's definitely going to be able to gain a little bit, but he needs to hope that instead of battling with Seagate, these two actually help each other out and maybe not fight each other too much and think of the bigger picture, and that is use each other to slipstream DRS past each other to get themselves back up into this scrap up ahead. Meanwhile, we got the battle of the teammates here, as I believe Mace is just going to move over and get out the way of his teammate. Oh, maybe not. No, there we go. Team orders right there. Mercedes doing a little swap. And Ghost has done well. He's closed up a decent amount here to Atlas Coppo and Preb and Maze. Now Yellow Gleason is in clear A. He can go chasing after Ecos Blacks, who, gotta assume, isn't too far away from that pit stop onto those medium compound tyres. Lap 19 of 36. It is Ecos Blacks leads the way. Yellow Gleason in second place, the two championship protagonists here. Then we got Maze in third, ahead of OWR. Preb in fourth, Atlas Coppo in fifth, Ghost in sixth, Seigate in 7th. These two are going to the end of the race. Everyone else will have to make one more pit stop. So it will be interesting to see, as Ecos Blacks will definitely drop down massively after he makes his pit stop, but will he have enough pace and enough time and enough laps to catch back up to the likes of Ghost and Seigate? I don't know, we'll have to find out as Silas picks himself up another 3-second time penalty. As we see Seigate there again, a little bit off track. Yellow Gleason will also have to make another pit stop, and that is for sure. I doubt his tyres are going to be able to last another 15 laps. It would be a miracle if it does happen, but his tyres will be completely off the grip, off the cliff if it does, as Preb is in. So a set of the mediums, I would assume, is going on Preb's car right now, and yes it is. Fresh set of the yellow wall tyres on that Ferrari right now. So Ghost almost onto the back as oh no, that Silas was around. And Silas is around and he tumbles down towards the back. But I was going to say Ghost almost on the back of Atlas Cobro now, and potentially he's just going to miss out on DRS this time around, but next time around he should potentially have it. There we go, someone a new fastest lap. As Atlas Copo is into the pits for a set of the yellow walled tyres here. That does make things more difficult now for Ghost, because he has a bit more time now that he needs to catch up on Maze up ahead. And Preb is going to clear his teammate out of the pits, and question is, when is Maze going to peel off, when is Yellow Gleason going to peel off, and when's Ecos Black's going to peel off? Oh, as Blackside makes a big mistake, and that almost catches Yellow Gleason out. Wow, 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 so that's a lot of time these guys have just lost, and that mistake there from Ecos Blacks under pressure cost both him and Yellow Gleason a few tenths, maybe half a second or more, and that is exactly what they don't need, as it means that they have to do just a little bit more work. As oh my god, as Ecos Blacks almost losing the car again, and yeah, that's going to be a almost impossible task for Ecos Blacks now to try and get himself back into a race winning position. Now it's all about damage limitation for the McLaren driver. I believe he's going to come up behind both Ferraris now. Actually, let's find out, as here comes Preb with the overspeed, and he is going to get ahead of Black. So there we go, it is a checkerboard of, well, it was a checkerboard until Kiki just overtook Silas, but now we have a Ferrari sandwich with a McLaren fill-in here for P7, P8 and P9. They have about 17.5 seconds to Seigate and Ghost, so it's a big ask, a very big ask, and we should see Yellow Gleason peel into the pits very soon. Maze should definitely come in this lap. He chooses to ignore it. Okay, Maze stays out, and he's going to allow Ghost to get a little bit of DRS here. which might actually help Ghost break away from Psychics. We see Ghost has kind of built out that 8th, 10th gap on Psychic in behind as Yanzu gets through on Elmo up in the 5th place. There goes Yanzu. As I was going to say, Ghost has been getting away from Psychic, but DRS has kept Psychic in it, and now we see Ghost now breaking that 1 second already. And if we can get past Maze in a nice, clean, orderly fashion, Psychic may be a bit too far back to really do anything to stop Ghost. Let's find out as we go for the S's. This seems to be where Ghost is gaining all this time. Gains a decent amount in the first sector, and now in the final sector is Psychic going to be able to get himself DRS. I think he's just about managed to get it. Has he got it? Yes, he has. But Ghost has it, and he's a lot closer to Maze, and this should be an overtake now for Ghost. Slipstreams and up into P2 goes the Red Bull, but Maze is going to try and hang it around the outside. Of course, Maze has got to do his bit for his teammate and try and hold up these guys, because it means it's less work for Yellow Gleason to do. But Ghost is having absolutely none of it, and he's going to try and get through right now, right here. But Maze is going to hang it around the outside once again, and he's going to force it down the inside, and a little bit more contact made between the pair. Psychic has got to be looking at this as more contact made once again, and now, oh, a little bit more contact. That's Maze around and into the wall. As Ghost picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, and that's big. That is massive here. Yellow Gleason was really helped by his teammate there, as these guys lost several seconds to Yellow Gleason just in that battle. Maze, though, in efforts to help his teammate, he just unfortunately lost out and has dropped massively down the order. Meanwhile, Ghost Black's trying to go around the outside of Preb as they touch wheels, and that's going to open doors up now here for Atlas Copo, as Ecos Blacks has no ERS to defend himself, and here comes Atlas Copo now. He's going to cruise past the McLaren, and now Ecos Blacks has no ERS whatsoever to really fight against these two Ferraris. And May chucks on a set of the soft tyres, and soft tyres really do fall off pretty quick around here, so May's going for that fastest lap point. As Maximus has left the session, Psychic there with a 3-second time penalty. Now this has just made things even more interesting now, because if Yellow Gleason pits, he should come out. Oh my god, as Ecos Blacks and Atlas Copa, they're trading positions in the SS. I was just about to say, if Yellow Gleason comes into the pits now, he would come out around where, I believe not too far off the back of Yanzu and Elmo, to be perfectly honest. He should come out well ahead of Preb. It's a question of when does the Mercedes driver come into the pits, because the earlier he pits, the better chance he has of getting himself into this 3-second window. Leaves it too late, these guys in behind will begin to close in on that gap and make it a much more difficult challenge for Yellow Gleason. I think these guys are just focusing right now on nice and cool driving. Let's not really push the car too much. Irrigation should be into the pits very soon, I would think. possibly this lap, and yes he is, he's into the pits. Of course Jansu will pit as well, yes, and Jansu is going to pass Yelagis, and so is Elmo. Preb, Blacks and Atlas Coppo are too far behind the Mercedes driver, so Yelagis has a roughly 8-second, well not even 8 anymore, it's only a 5-second gap to kind of build back up. He needs to take 5 seconds out of Cygate and Ghost to win this race. As Mays with a new fastest lap of an 18.9 as that's Cygate and Ghost, so Ghost is around. Ghost is around, and that means now it's on Cygate here. Yelagis down the inside of Elmo, nothing Elmo can do there, he knows he's outmatched on those tyres. Jansu has lost it, he's lost it under pressure, and now Yelagis right behind Ghost here, who's into the pits himself. .7 is the gap, 3-second time penalty for Cygate. All Yelagis has to do is gain 5.5 seconds on Cygate to take this race win here. And with Ecos Blacks all the way down the order in 7th place, that is big for the Drivers' Championship. As Blacks and Preb there side by side, and this has been the issue for Ecos Blacks. He's definitely got the pace, but he doesn't have the ERS to get past these Ferrari drivers, but he's going to try and force it, but don't particularly want to force it there, and he has to settle for 7th for right now. It's such a good run out of the SS, but he's using ERS to try and overtake there. Blacks, if you can hear me, you need to save ERS. He's going to launch it down the inside anyway, and he's going to get himself up into P6. But I think he might just be a little bit too far out of DRS range. And oh my god, that's Kiki around. Kiki is around, and here's the thing, look at this now. Ecos Blacks is an absolute sitting duck. He has nothing. And this fight between Preb, Blacks and Atlas Coppo is definitely getting a little bit spicy here. And that is Preb around. Preb has lost it on the exit of turn 3. And around he goes. Because Blacks, the championship leader, down in 6th place. His nearest rival, Yellow Gleason, is up into 2nd place and technically in 1st now, because he's already brought down that gap enough to take the race win on penalties. You've got Elmo here with a great result up in 3rd right now. Jansu has to pit, and he is going to pit, and that's going to release Atlas and Ecos Blacks here up the order. Atlas did just pick himself up a time penalty, which definitely won't help matters, because as these laps go on, he should really be closing in on Elmo. But he's been battling so much with Blacks and his teammate Preb that he's just dropping down the order massively. I need to get this Drivers' Championship up. I'm pretty sure there is one more race next week at Abu Dhabi. I'm just quickly verifying this. Yeah, there is only one more race at Abu Dhabi next week, so we really do need to think about this championship right here. Ghost and Yellow Gleason were on level points coming into this. Of course, they are tied on for second right now. Ghost, unfortunately, looks like he's going to lose out in this championship. Atlas Copo definitely will, as it currently stands. Yellow Gleason now over the back of Cygate for the race win. This is looking spicy. I'm pretty sure Yellow Gleason is doing enough to keep this championship alive going into the final round. Well, he definitely is, to be fair. But will he give himself the best opportunity possible to take victory in this championship? Ecos Blacks is currently in 5th place. I don't know, I don't think he's going to get much higher than 5th, depending on how much Elmo's tyres drop off. And if there's any mistakes up ahead of Blacks, and that's the only way Ecos Blacks gains positions here. We've got Kiki on the back of Preb here for P6. Ghost is not too far behind, he's trying to save some points himself. But as long as Ecos Blacks finishes ahead of Ghost, Ghost is out of this championship. Looks like Atlas is looking like he can get away from Ecos Blacks, but that DRS is the only thing keeping him in it. Lap 32 of 36. Cygate is leading, but he has Yellow Gleason directly behind him, who has no penalty on soft tyres. For Cygate to win this race, he needs Yellow Gleason's tyres to drop off the absolute cliff in these final few laps. Great Elmo looks pretty comfortable in 3rd right now. Atlas Copo in 4th. Under pressure from Ecos Blacks, so we got a battle for 4th and a battle for 1st. Will Yellow Gleason go for it this lap, I wonder? Doesn't look like it. Cygate is using absolutely everything to get away from the Mercedes. And it looks like Yellow Gleason is just happy to sit in behind and cruise to jump him on pens. Ecos Blacks here with a big old lock up into turn 1. Gleason still all over the back of Cygate. He's not going for it as of yet. He's just sitting in behind, waiting for this opportunity, waiting for it to open up, and it could be right here, right now. Lap 33 as we're going to lap 34. Is Yellow Gleason just going to pass him this time around? Cygate is using everything possible, but it's not going to be enough, as now he's out of the ERS and Yellow Gleason backs off. He does not want to overtake Cygate. He is well and truly happy to just sit in behind. Meanwhile, battle between Atlas Cobra and Ecos Blacks has settled down a bit. The battle right now, Preb, Kiki and Ghost. Preb definitely favourite the finish in 6th here due to having no penalties, but he does have the Red Bull directly behind him now. And this battle is going to get a little bit spicy as Kiki gets a little bit wayward on exit, and that is going to lose him a decent amount of time. Ecos Blacks now all over the back, and that is Elmo right ahead. I did say that this could get a bit spicy as they close up to Elmo, and it actually is. But now Ecos Blacks, is he going to go for it? Can't get close enough this time around. Atlas does have ERS to use. Elmo has ERS to use. But the DRS will be with the Ferrari. The fresher tyres will be with the Ferrari. As we start lap 35 of 36 for this battle. For the final spot on the podium as Ghost and Kiki there spin around, swap positions, as I believe that's Kiki losing the back end and falling down the order. Can Atlas get through on Elmo here? Because now Ecos Blacks has dropped back massively. Everything seems to have settled down here. I think Ecos Blacks is accepting his fate here in P5. Doesn't have the ERS to get himself ahead of Atlas Cobra, and absolute shame. But if Atlas Cobra can get himself ahead of Elmo here, and then Elmo and Ecos Blacks start battling out, Atlas could pick up a podium. That's the only saving grace for Atlas right now. He needs a good exit, and oh, this is going to get, as Yellow does overtake for the race lead, but I need to go back to this battle. I need to go back to this battle right here. Because here comes Atlas Cobra on Elmo. He's going to look to the inside. He's going to outbrake the Haas, and it's going to slow him down, as I believe that is Ecos Blacks, I think, has disconnected on the final lap of the race. That is heartbreaking for the championship leader. He has disconnected from the final lap of this race, and Yellow Gleason is going to come around the final couple of corners. We'll go on board with him as the fireworks are going off here. Everyone in the grandstand is absolutely buzzing as Yellow Gleason comes around the final corner for the final time to take victory here in Mexico, as Sygate will come home in second place. Atlas Cobra, he built 2 seconds, just a little bit too late, as I believe Elmo will get that P. Oh no, Atlas Cobra was actually spinning, so he could lose his spot to his teammate here. Atlas Cobra does cross the line in P4, that's where he would have finished anyway, as we got Preb and Ghost crossing the line. Kiki